Hello, friends. My name is Vilas Dhar. I'm the president of the Patrick J. McGovern Foundation, and it is an honor and a privilege to be with you all today. I've learned about STEM arts and the incredible work that you as a community do to remind us what it looks like when we tie tradition and culture and creativity with new technologies. We weave them into our daily lives. And there are a few places in the world, like Taos, where you can feel such a deep sense of continuity, where indigenous history and Hispano traditions and artistic expression come together to tell a living narrative of what the world could look like. I'm delighted that you've had this time together in a series that explores the fundamental questions of what social impact and responsibility should look like in AI. And it's important for us to remember that the story of AI won't be told in Silicon Valley labs or in policymaking rooms in capital cities. The story of AI will be told in communities just like ours, places where people come together with lived experience, with context, with an understanding that these choices are ours to make. Now, I want to acknowledge, as you have all embarked in the study and use of these tools, that there are public narratives about AI that aren't so productive. Stories that are grounded in fear about what might happen if AI goes out of control, or maybe more importantly, if we make the wrong decisions about AI. But I come to you instead with a voice of hope, because I get to work with communities around the world that use AI in the most incredible ways. From organizations that are working in rural healthcare in last mile communities, as far as you might think you can get from the world of Silicon Valley, where AI is being used to understand community practices that can lead to better health outcomes, can lead to healthier babies and more comfortable elderly, where AI can be used to reshape our sense of health-based dignity. Or maybe closer to home, the ways that AI is being used to understand climatic effects, to follow wildfires, to make sure we equip those who are fighting for us with the best tools they might need to understand, predict, and fight wildfires at their source. You know, there are a million stories about how AI can do good things in the world. But what's at the core of all of them is that AI is most powerful when it's grounded in the experiences of our people, in respect for land and environment, in a recognition that knowledge doesn't flow only in formal systems, but often in how we teach each other what we've learned from the places we live. And fear is natural. But the antidote to fear, a fear that you might lose control or not be a part of what's happening, is participation, is ensuring that we're all willing to ask the right questions, to tell the stories of our projects, to demonstrate that AI doesn't only need to be built far away, but that we can build it for us, by us, and to be used. And building AI literacy is a key part of that, to ensure that our communities know what these tools are, what they're capable of, and with our direction, what they might be able to do for us. It's not just about technological skills. It's also about building the confidence that lets us step into decision-making spaces and say, we have a point of view here. These tools have to be a part of making our lives more effective, optimized, and dignified. I want to acknowledge that some of the stories about AI are about very necessary and important critiques. For example, the idea that today's AI is deeply unsustainable, that it requires massive amounts of power and water to power these data centers that often are deployed without community consent. But let's remember that inertia doesn't mean inevitability. Just because that's the AI of today doesn't mean the innovation of communities might not lead us to the AI of tomorrow. Smaller models, limited in focus, that are tailored to the needs that we have. For rural agricultural communities with deep insight and understanding about how satellite data and climate understanding can change the ways that we practice planting and harvesting. Or for urban communities to understand things like traffic patterns to reduce our pollution and increase environmental sustainability. I remain hopeful about AI because I see examples every day from across the world of where small grassroots teams are stepping forward to use these technologies in ways that create absolute inspiration and expectation of brighter futures. And in many ways, I think about the story of where you are today. The Pueblo people have managed this land for over 1,000 years. And their endurance teaches us that progress isn't measured just by speed or by a race to new capacity, but by continuity, by resilience, by care, and by wisdom. So as we talk about AI, I hope that we'll hold on to that lesson, that our goal isn't just to chase machines and new parameters and new measures of capability, but to ensure that technology reflects the very best of who we are, that we leave a legacy for those who come after us. So as you do projects, as I hope that I will learn more about them, I want to end on one note, that technology won't shape the world we want to live in by itself. Rather, technology will itself be shaped by the arts, by culture, by the stories we tell about ourselves to ourselves, where communities like Taos remind us that storytelling is not decoration or distraction. It's how we carry forward values, how we embed those values into the design of the tools we build. And when we do, whether we're able to create the tools that serve humanity, sustain our cultures, inspire the next generation to imagine boldly. It's a future that's incredibly worth building, and it begins with conversations like the ones you all are having. I want to thank you again for the privilege of this invitation to speak with you today. And I want to tell you how excited I am for the work that you're doing, because at the heart of it is the seed of a vision for a future where AI works for all of us. Thank you so much.